Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 45 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series with Age of Engineering. Today, well, first I want to recap a couple things I did between episodes, which I, took care of. So first off, my manual and turbine, doing a great job. Currently disabled, because I configured your output to be requiring a redstone signal to output RF. And I real quick set down my power monitor here and pretty much have the same thing, 80 to 95, so that it basically, sitting right there, it's nice and compact and gets that thing turned off and on. What I found happening was, even though our solar array was pumping power into the vibrant capacitor, we were still having this thing flicker on and off, so I kind of wanted to just conserve as much fuel as possible, so that's pretty cool. I also converted this guy to use ender tanks. So I'm using ender tanks instead of liquid P2P modules, and the reason I switched that up is, remember last episode at the end there, I was like kind of testing to see if we were wasting empowered oil? We definitely were. My brain was not playing tricks on me. So what happened was, if the tank had like 50 millibuckets of empty space, it would transfer one full bucket's worth, which is 1,000 millibuckets, across the P2P tunnel, insert the 50 millibuckets into the tank, and then void the remaining liquid. So, wouldn't recommend using P2P liquid tunnels, right at this time. Probably not a good idea. But that's pretty much what I worked on. I think, did I do this on camera or off camera? I think I did it on camera, but I ran this smart cabling over here so that we could, I might have done this off camera. So I set up a P2P tunnel for EU, which is working pretty well. And that is connected right down here. Ta-da! So we've got a high voltage emitter transferring power across glass fiber cable into this P2P tunnel, and then we're cool. So a little dire wiry, but we'll live. So those are the things that I worked on between episodes, and now we've got what I consider to be a pretty reliable power system flowing kind of all around our base. It's doing a great job. Not so much dire wire anymore. Kind of the only dire wire we've got living around here anymore is this stuff. So these are like the only two machines that are kind of, connected with immersive engineering cabling, which is fine. I'll probably just leave that for the time being. And yeah, otherwise we're in good shape. So, with that said, let's get working on some more things today. So just as an FYI, other things I've worked on kind of randomly throughout the series. I kind of automated this chest, this storage crate, which is when you analyze circuits, you get random items sometimes. That's where those items go, is into that crate. And a lot of the times you get junk that you don't need or care about. So as a result, I've kind of automated that chest. I'm voiding stuff, so on the north side you can see we're extracting certain items that get voided into the trash can. And then everything else kind of remains. Look, I've got a nether star out of it. Like, it's a 0.01% chance to get another star, and I've literally processed probably thousands of circuits at this point, but hey, I got another star. That's kind of cool. Gotten a bunch of neat stuff. I've even gotten 2 calculator plugs, which are pretty nice. So that's why I'm not always voiding everything here, because these things are actually cool, and I will probably want to use them eventually. However, I notice I have a health processor and a hunger processor, and I've got an energy module, and I think if I grab a calculator, like the flawless one, and we do this, this, and this. Oh, I do get the nutrition module. Nice. A couple people suggest that I check out the nutrition module because, as we will see here shortly, the nutrition module works passively from your inventory for both health and hunger, which is neat. See you later, alligator. I have to increase the range on this thing, like, by a lot. So this might be just a nifty little thing to get my hands on. Cool. I don't know how many hunger points it stores. I'll probably stop at around 2,000. Yeah. And it also does health points, which I think I get from tanzanite wood, which I'm not working on right now, but I'm not worried about health points. So in theory, just having this in my inventory, it should... I think it just passively works, so I should no longer have to eat or do anything for food. I don't know, we'll find out. Anyway, today, I did a lot of testing in a single-player test world between episodes, and I learned some things about the next age of engineering. Basically, our goal going forward is to get chrome and titanium And that's cool. The main way to get chrome and titanium is as follows. So to get titanium, we're going to need titanium dust, which we get from small piles of titanium dust. The only way to get that is through the industrial electrolyzer. We need 12 bauxite dust, and we get 2 small titanium dust, along with some aluminum dust and hydrogen cells and compressed cells. And this industrial electrolyzer from Tech Reborn has like a bajillion recipes for all kinds of fancy cells and whatnot. And you might know from between episodes, I've been hanging on to some extra bauxite ore because I was told early on that I need it. In fact, to the point of, so you're not actually dumping bauxite ore into here. So any bauxite ore we should have been collecting, if we look in here, we might have a decent amount. 184, not bad. So we've got a few more bauxite ore stacks because I haven't been auto-processing my aluminum. So that's cool. That's actually really cool. Bauxite dust, which, by the way, like, you know, and you can get it from things. Can I get that from like aluminum dust, like ingots, or do I think I can only get it from the bauxite ore? So that's cool. And then chrome dust comes from the industrial electrolyzer. 9 ruby dust gets you a chrome dust, among other things. So industrial electrolyzer looks to be the next stage of what we need to make. In order to get into some of the Tech Reborn stuff, we need to make refined iron ingots, which are made in an electric solidifier, which is a, I believe it's a Neotech item, the electric solidifier. Neotech, right? Yes, electric solidifier. And basically it's molten steel. And there's a block from Neotech that can melt the steel for us. And then, so basically we have to melt down steel into molten steel and then electric solidifier it into refined iron. That's pretty much what we need to do. So as a matter of fact, let's get some iron, which we should have, you know, a healthy-ish amount of. Let's get this in block form. Let's get 16 of them. Does that sound cool? And coal coke. Nice, I've got a block. Or a stack of blocks, for that matter. I've been just throwing blocks of coal into this thing at this point. So that's cool. And this thing shouldn't take too long to process into steel. Not to mention we've probably got a decent amount of steel. 50-ish. And refined iron. Okay, not as much. So we've got some steel. We're going to need a lot. Because the other thing I looked into is the next stage of that, which is processing this. There's basically 2 ways to process this. We can use some multi-blocks from Tech Reborn. And I tested them, and they're slow. And it says right here in the guide, if you want, you can use the Immersive Engineering arc furnace, which is a lot faster. And that gets you access to titanium and chrome, which will allow you to advance to the next stage. And we also need the electrolyzer. So I'm thinking I'm going to do the arc furnace method instead of the multi-blocks from Tech Reborn. Now, there will be one thing we still need Tech Reborn for, but I think it'll be better. And I also kind of looked into it, and I decided the arc furnace is going to do much better for us. Like, it's going to... having an arc furnace is going to be good one way or another. And since it can do these things better than the Tech Reborn machines can do them, I might as well get into making an arc furnace now. The only thing that we have to worry about is an electrode, which, in order to get an electrode, we need hop graphite ingots, which come from hop graphite dust, which the only way to get, which is standard in Immersive Engineering, is an industrial squeezer with coke dust, and then we get coke dust from a crusher. So basically we need to make a crusher, followed by an industrial squeezer, followed by an arc furnace, and then we need to get graphite electrodes, which we can get the engineer's blueprint, we can get the engineer's workbench, we get a blueprint. You can craft the blueprints, arc furnace electrodes, so that's cool. I don't know if I found any in my adventures. I don't remember finding any. Yeah, no, it doesn't look like I have. So that's the plan for this episode. Immersive engineering machines, I'd like to get those 3 knocked out, part of which is the reason I am cooking up more steel, because, you know, like, immersive engineering likes its steel. But once we have the arc furnace, we'll produce steel even faster, and that'll be exciting. So that all said, let's get started. So we're going to need the crusher and the industrial squeezer first, and then we'll kind of go from there. So where do I want to put that? That's my next question. I was thinking about this area, which already has a couple immersive engineering machines, could be expanded into a larger room where, like, maybe we... excuse me, Mr. Pig. Sorry. You were in my way. And that's a grave offense. So, like, what I could do is kind of extend out from here and map this out like this way. So I might extend this room real quick off camera, and we'll come back in a minute, and then I'll probably break down these metal press machines and replace them and reallocate them. So let's come back in a minute once I've expanded this room and done some other things. Nap time. So what do you guys think of this room? I haven't got the glass in the ceilings yet, but I'll take care of that next. Basically, this will be like a big open area for working on multi-blocks. This will be like my multi-block room for machines. So here's where my industrial squeezer will go, right? And this chest is temporary. That's just sitting there because it's holding all the junk that I broke, right? And then we could probably have maybe a couple of those machines that we removed. Like, so that would be the chest piping into the 1, 2, 3. I should do this with these blocks. Like, that would be the chest piping into the 1, 2, 3 with the output there. And then we would have the chest 1, 2, 3, and the output there. Those could be your presses. And then for the arc furnace, which I grabbed this guy so that I could map out the sizing of things, but arc furnace is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a 5 by 5. That's big. Even if I built that into the wall, which I'll probably do like here. Right, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, and then that would come out 1, 2, 3, 4. That could be my arc furnace. That would look pretty neat, right? And that could just chill in this area. So that would be my arc furnace. I've decided to build them like one into the wall so that like it's kind of, you know, into the wall. And I think that would look good. And that would leave room for like maybe another few more machines. Like we might wind up with 1 or 2 more here, or maybe a couple in the center of this room. We'll figure it out. Or the arc furnace could sit perfectly in this corner, and then that would just free up a little bit more space. That might be cool. I think that's what I'm going to do. So that's, you know, 5 by 5 right in the corner of the room. That should work out all right. Though, to be fair, I don't think... Well, we'd kind of see through the wall, I think is what would happen. Yeah, so I like this layout. This leaves room for one more machine kind of over here that might be large. And I know some of the Neotech ones and Tech Reborn ones can get large, so we'll see how it goes. I'm delving into mods I've never played with before, so yeah, I'm quickly learning what that's all about. So let's get some glowstone here too, if I may. We'll get about... We'll see if 8's going to be enough for us. Back in a minute. All right, cool. So next stage, let's actually start filling this room with machines. Does that sound like a plan? I think so. So first one is going to be the squeezer. I'm going to need 6 steel scaffolding, 2 fluid pipe, steel scaffolding. So that makes 6 at a time. That should be fine. Cool. So I get 4 from 3, or I get 2 from 1. A little bit better. Let's see what the immersive engineering one is. Yeah, technically it's a little better to do that with the presser, but we'll see. Fluid pipe. We needed more iron plates. Yeah, I should probably get around to automating that bad boy. Let's get a handful of iron plates while we're here. Right, so we needed 2 fluid pipes, 1 redstone, and 1 light engineering block. Two fluid pipes. And these guys aren't too bad. So I only need 1 redstone, and then I need 4 wooden barrels and a piston. Four wooden barrels, which are treated wood planks. So I'm going to need a bucket. Let's get maybe a stack of these guys. Back in a sec. So 4 wooden barrels. Nice. And then the last part for the squeezer, 1 pistons, 3 steel fence. So piston shouldn't be a problem. And a steel fence. Gonna need those rods again. Let's see. How many do I need? Probably 4, right? Nope, 3. Perfect. Cool. So let's go build the thing. So that I decided would go here. And don't forget, we're going to need our engineer's hammer to build this thing. So watching the diagram, what we're looking at. Also, I want to see what you look like. So I kind of want it facing that way, right? So the first floor will be 2 scaffolding, light in the corner, and then, okay. 2 scaffolding, light in the corner. Like that. Does that sound cool? And then next tier up is redstone, light, and the 4 barrels. So redstone, light, and the 4 barrels. Correct? And then the piston is on top of the outer barrel with fences around it. Cool. And then I click on something here to get this thing to form. Hey, there we go. Neat. We've got a squeezer. Beautiful. So this can be a lever position. I believe power goes in here into this block. So I might run it up here because we've got power like right near this, which is perfect. So let's get our conduiting. Right? There should be some conduits that I could just run probably right along this floorboard. And you've got power. Sweet. All right, so that's step 1 of several. Gorgeous. All right, let's rebuild these guys real quick, just so that they're in place. So we'll get all this in position, right? So we were gonna have like chests here and here. This might eventually get replaced with applied energistics related things, but we'll get there. Metal press, let's see. So redstone in the middle, piston in the middle. Cool. Redstone in the middle. That to that to that. Boom. Nice. And then replicate that over here. You and beautiful. That looks nice. And then this chest can be picked up. And basically we want these guys. And like I said, that may eventually turn into something else. We'll probably want our... And now that this is back up and running, this is nice because I can get my steel rods a little bit more efficiently. So we were mostly doing, I think... We haven't needed these in a while because a lot of what I've been making, we've been doing in a faster and better way. So we may not even need these, to be honest with you, but we'll figure it out. For now, it's all good. And now we need our crusher, right? So let's go get the parts we need for a crusher. If I was being a little bit less shenanigan-y, I would probably... Beautiful. Consider auto-crafting a lot of these parts, but I don't know if we'll need them that badly that we want to learn to auto-craft them. So a crusher needs the following. 10 steel scaffolding, 1 redstone engineering block, 10 light engineering block, 8 steel fence, and 9 hoppers. Back in a minute. Went ahead and ran this wiring because I need some steel bars for this, and as we discovered, you get 2 for 1 steel ingot, or if we use this method, it's 3 to 4. So it's a little bit more expensive steel-wise to make these steel rods. So I wanted to hook that up. Back in a minute after crafting. Okie dokie then. That should be everything I need for the crusher. Keep your hands out. I'll probably put a dropper above this guy, but we'll get to that in a sec. So again, what we want this to look like is going to be... I kind of want it facing this way. So what we'll want to do is have... Stop doing that. Light engineering blocks. Like that's how I want it to look, right? And then scaffolding around 2 light engineering blocks. So you and you. We'll clear this out. Cool. And then the next tier is more light. The engineering is in the front corner, a light in the middle, and a light there. With these guys like that, and then it's just hoppers on top. I never remember if the hoppers facing direction matters, so I always make sure that they face downwards. And then the hammer. Hooray! It worked. Nice. I wouldn't mind a dropper. So let's make one of those real quick. You guys know I love the automated precision dropper, right? You know what I should do? Let's make like 10 of you. I know I'm going to need a few of you while you're at it. And do we have gold? Yeah, we do. Okay, cool. So you should be done by now. Into you. Into you. Nice. Cool. And the other thing I'm going to want is a chest, which I taught this thing how to make. Which may eventually become an interface, right? And this may eventually be what I'm going to stick right here. Looks like a nice spot. Remember, anything that drops into this is destroyed, even if it, you know, doesn't macerate into anything. So be really careful about what you drop into this thing. Trust me. I believe power has to come into here, right? So probably going to facade this up in a moment. We might even have some facades for that purpose. Hey. Beat it. I should really get around to making the thing from Ender.io that prevents mob spawns near your base. So I can work at night with impunity. But we'll get there eventually. Cool. So that looks good. I know it doesn't look great, but it'll do. I might have some facades laying around. Do I? I do, with chiseled stone. Nice. Well, that's nice. All together. Awesome. So I should be able to bop this dude right there. And now we've got a crusher that'll run. Nice. So if we wanted coal dust, for example, or coal coke dust, let's get 24 of these is what I need, right? Might even need 32. So let's get Beautiful. It's a little loud. We'll live. Cool. And then 8 of these should go into the industrial squeezer and get squeezed into hop graphite dust, which I can then smelt in just any old smeltery, I believe. Yes, hop graphite bars. Nice. That's what's up. Let's get like a stack of this, because I know I'm going to need a lot of these. Because first off, I need to use these to make the blueprint, and then we're going to need the engineer's dude. So that can cruise for a little bit. Nice. So that looks pretty good. So that's pretty well all up and running. Next thing we're going to need to make is the big one, the arc furnace. And this guy's expensive. Lots of things. Specifically a lot of steel and reinforced blast bricks. What I'm going to do is deconstruct this thing. Hopefully I've got enough steel for it, and I will find out if I have enough steel. What I'm going to do is make everything I need to make. And then if I do have it, I need 27 reinforced blast brick, which is exactly what's making this. And we can make steel in the arc furnace faster than the blast furnace. So basically I'm going to deconstruct that blast furnace and use it to make the arc furnace if I have enough steel for everything else that I need. And if I do, cool. And to test that, we're going to make everything I need now, off camera, real quick. You guys, I am so close. I literally need 3 more steel. So once this block of iron is done cooking, I will have what I need. 99, 100. Nice. Cool. So let's put this stuff away. Convert this into ingots. Convert the ingots into that. So now if we check this dude, we'll have everything except the 27 reinforced blast bricks, which we're going to now get. So give me this. Give me... Where'd my yellow wrench go? I must have gone into here somehow. Random things just wind up inside my AE system, and I never figure out how that happens. Cool. Nice. So this will both increase my steel production as well as like a handful of other awesome things. So it's going to be good to have an arc furnace one way or another, and I'm glad that I spent the time to make this thing. So now we should be cool. So let's get this guy built over here, and what I want to do is make sure that he's facing kind of like this way. I think that's a cool way for him to face. So that said, let's start building him. So first level will be steel scaffolding here with the cauldron here. Cool. I'm going to put this on this spot. And then we want 2 steel blocks here and here. Blocktastic. And then around that will be steel scaffolding except for the back here, which will be the heavy engineering block, I believe. And these guys will be steel sheet metal. Right? Not scaffolding, sheet metal? Yes. And here. And then this inside will be all slabs. As well as this, this, and this. Does that look right? So far, so good. Next here, redstone there. Heavies, lights. Blocks are stacked on top of each other. As I recall, blocks are just like that. Heavies with 3 lights along the back, and then the redstone goes here. And then we have... Does that look right? Yeah, I think that looks right. 3 more sets of heavies with steel scaffolding in the corners. Wait, heavies or lights? Lights. And then this actually extends all the way out to here. Cool. And then a 3x3 on top with a light in the center and scaffoldings. And then finally, we've got 3 lights down the center and more scaffoldings. And if I did that right, nice, look at that beauty. Looking great. Arc Furnace, guys, is the winner. So let's compress all this stuff into the appropriate stuff. Oh man, that's awesome. That is great. Look at it go. Hop graphite dust. All right, and I've got 1 hop graphite, so we're gonna cook you guys up. And then we're probably gonna need more of this stuff, but that's okay. I wanna get the engineer's workbench up and running. Nice. So I can supposedly use you to make an engineer's blueprint for arc furnace electrodes, which remember, there's 2 ways to make electrodes. Either a metal press for hop graphite gets you a 50% integrity graphode, or make the engineer's blueprint like we just did, and 4 hop graphite ingots will make you 100%. So totally no reason to not do it this way. All we need is an engineer's workbench, which is this dude, which just needs a crafting table, and then we're good to go. Nice. And I'm going to stick you right there. Sweet. All right, so like that gets us one of those. Cool. Let's get more coke. A stack will do. And at some point I can teach like the AE system how this works, right? Just, you know, items go in here, items come out here. That's all it is. Sweet. Let's get... Hello. This connected. Now that is like an output for something, so I might want to not run it past there. Do we have... I missed something. Sometimes when you break blocks too quickly, that happens. Alright, so you could just run straight across to here. Nice. So you should be getting power now. Beautiful. We'll get this as covered as we can. Looking good. All right, like I said, that's some kind of output. I think that might output like scrap or something like that, but it's all good. So you've got power now. You've got enough, I believe, to make a few more hop graphite rods. Nice. Let's go smelt it. So just a few more. So I think I need 24 coke dust for this to work. Check and check. And that should be 3 more hop graphite dust, which I can quickly smelt and turn into an electrode. Nice. And then these 3 electrodes go in here. There is no way to automate these graphite electrodes. That is a design decision by the author of Immersive Engineering. So they will eventually decay and you will have to replace them. So if we wanted to make a little bit more steel, it is coke dust plus iron ingot in here. And I believe these guys can craft like that. And I think that they will all craft in tandem. The one minor annoyance is that it doesn't auto distribute it for you. So like you put 8 in there, it'll all kind of, it won't do all 8 at once. But that's not the end of the world. But we just made 8 iron ingots. Like, you can make 12 at a time in, like, seconds. And I think that that slag will wind up in a chest in the background if there is one. Cool. So let's get another stack of this stuff. And if I'm right about this, I believe if I put a chest back here, that's where your slag will wind up. So if we put 4 of this in and 4 of these guys in, that slag will auto-output to that chest. And I think the front can auto-output. I don't know if it's auto-output or if I have to pipe it. But I think the back is where the slag will go and the front is where this stuff will go. So that's cool. So I'm going to call that wrapping up point for the episode. We have now a very rapid way to make steel, as well as, see, look, it did auto-output to the back. Sweet. As well as some other items that we're going to need next for progression purposes. So for now, Dial20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll come back next time. We'll look at the electrolyzer from whichever one I keep mixing up those two mods. For whatever reason, Neotech and Tech Reborn, because they both have the name Tech and they both are mods I've not played with before, I keep mixing them up. And I apologize for that because my brain's probably going to say the wrong word more than once in the future. So for now, Dial20 signing off. Take it easy.